Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of FCA Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Weekly digest for week 2 of March 2025. India's February consumer inflation likely fell below the RBI's 4% target due to moderating food prices, raising expectations of interest rate cuts. A Reuters poll of economists predicted inflation at 3.98%, driven by a slowdown in vegetable, pulse and cereal prices. However, concerns remain about potential inflation increases from early heat waves affecting crop supplies. In a significant policy development, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has hinted at an upcoming reduction in GST rates while remaining non-committal on potential changes to capital gains tax. Speaking at an event on Saturday, Finance Minister Sitharaman confirmed that the GST rate rationalization exercise was nearing completion and that the GST Council would soon make critical decisions on rate cuts and slab restructuring. Her remarks come just few weeks after the Union Budget introduced an income tax cut, signaling the government's continued focus on easing the tax burden for businesses and individuals. However, on the contentious issue of capital gains tax reductions, she remained tight-lipped, citing the upcoming Parliament session. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has submitted its recommendations to the Lok Sabha Select Committee, currently reviewing the Income Tax Bill 2025. The key proposals include streamlining the legislation by reducing the number of sections and enhancing clarity in legal language to minimize litigation. ICAI has urged the committee to reduce the total number of sections in the proposed bill from 536 to approximately 436. The current Income Tax Act 1961 comprises 819 sections, and ICAI believes the new bill should aim for simplification rather than replacing complexity with another integrate framework. Aakash Educational Services plans to invest Rs 800 crore to Rs 1000 crore over the next 3 years to enhance its infrastructure, digital capabilities and AI-driven learning platforms, said Deepak Malhotra, Managing Director and CEO, Aakash Educational Services. The New Delhi-based education provider, which started in 1988, is now ramping up its presence in smaller Indian towns, betting on the growing demand for quality coaching in Tier 3 and Tier 4 cities. Tata Capital, the financial services arm of the Tata Group, is seeking to raise up to $750 million through external commercial borrowings as part of its $2 billion medium-term note or MTN program. The proceeds will be used for on-lending and other business operations. The fundraising comes as the company prepares for an IPO expected by September, pending shareholder approval. In December, Tata Capital sought regulatory clearance from the RBI to raise over $750 million from international markets. SEBI on Monday said it has launched a certification course to foster knowledge about the concepts of anti-money laundering or AML and combating the financing of terrorism or CFT among the securities market intermediaries. This certification course aims to create a common minimum knowledge benchmark for employees and associated persons of securities market intermediaries about concepts of AML and CFT and related aspects, provisions of the PMLA and PML rules, and scheduled offences under the SEBI Act and the Companies Act. IndusInd Bank shares plunged 20% after reporting accounting discrepancies in its derivatives portfolio. The drop triggered investor concerns about the bank's internal controls and resulted in a potential impact of Rs 1,600 to 2,000 crore on its net worth. With its stock losing 42% over the past year, analysts warn of further derating despite stable long-term fundamentals. Indian NBFCs are expected to modify their funding strategies due to RBI's relaxed lending norms. By reducing risk weight requirements on consumer microfinance loans, banks can now lend more to NBFCs. This will decrease reliance on short-term commercial papers. High-rated NBFCs may initially benefit, with others following suit as banks adjust lending strategies. India's Syngene International has agreed to acquire its first biologics facility in the US from Emergent Manufacturing for $36.5 million. This move aims to expand Syngene's capabilities in the Northeast US and reduce dependence on China, with the facility expected to be operational by mid-2025. Godrej Consumer Products on Monday inaugurated its first integrated greenfield manufacturing plant in Chengalpattu district on the outskirts of Chennai, with an investment of Rs 515 crore. The facility has the potential to generate 1,000 direct and indirect jobs. The factory has a revenue generating potential of Rs 2,000 crore once all planned production lines are fully operational. Fitch Ratings has downgraded the outlook for Adani Energy Solutions to negative on concerns that the US investigations could reveal its governance weakness and affect financial stability. Office space absorption across Asia Pacific's top 11 markets surged 15.9% annually to 94.7 million square feet, led by India, mainland China, and Japan. Office market activity was particularly strong in India, which saw 66.4 million square feet of leasing during 2024, led by a stronger second half. Bengaluru and Hyderabad led the office market activity during second half of 2024 cumulatively, driving more than half of the country's Grade A space demand and supply. Amidst an uptick in both leasing activity and new supply, India vacancy levels largely remain stable at around 17%. Olimax Energy announces a Rs 450 crore investment in Assam, focusing on the Tifuk oil and gas field, quartz mining, and a compressed biogas plant. The investment includes partnerships with BCPL, Government of Assam, and AGCL, and aims to create approximately 300 local jobs. The recent disclosures by the IndusInd Bank about discrepancies in account balances related to currency derivatives have raised concerns whether it's just IndusInd Bank or others too have similar problems. Now, the RBI has contacted several large banks to verify their hedging effectiveness and positions in the forex derivatives market. Jaguar Land Rover has called off plans to produce electric vehicles at Tata Motors' new $1 billion factory in southern India due to difficulties in finding a balance between price and quality of locally sourced EV components and slowing demand for electric cars. This decision also impacts Tata's launch plans for premium Evnia EV models originally scheduled for 2026-27. Interglobe Aviation, Indigo's parent company, will invest up to $45 million in its subsidiary Indigo IFSC. This investment, approved by the board, aims to finance aviation assets, repay outstanding loans, and support general corporate needs. Indigo IFSC specializes in leasing aircraft and aircraft engines. The IFSCA has announced a revised fee structure for International Trade Finance Service or ITFS operators and applicants looking to establish ITFS platforms in IFSCs. The updated fee structure includes application, registration, recurring activity-based and processing fees, which vary based on the annual turnover of transactions on the ITFS platform. The registration fee is set at $10,000, while recurring fees range from $3,000 to $15,000 depending on turnover. SEBI, after reviewing the minimum application size for zero coupon zero principal or ZCZP instruments issued by non-profit organizations on the Social Stock Exchange or SSE, currently set at Rs 10,000, has proposed reducing it to Rs 5,000 or a smaller amount to enhance retail participation in ZCZP issuances by NPOs on SSE. Public comments are invited until March 14, 2025. India's IT services industry is expected to witness moderate revenue growth of 4 to 6% in financial year 25-26, according to a report released by ICRA on Wednesday. The rating agency's projections are based on a sample set of companies that account for approximately 60% of industry's revenue. While the sector has seen gradual recovery over the past 3 quarters, growth is expected to remain subdued in the near term due to global economic headwinds and policy uncertainties in key markets such as the US and Europe. South Korean consumer electronics giant LG Electronics India has received approval from the market regulator SEBI for its highly anticipated Rs 15,000 crore initial public offering. The company had filed its draft red herring prospectus with SEBI in the first week of December for its maiden public issue. The IPO size is expected to be around Rs 15,000 crore, potentially making it India's 5th largest IPO, following those of Life Insurance Corporation, Hyundai Motor, Paytm, and Coal India. Private lender IndusInd Bank stock has been put under short-term additional surveillance measure or ASM stage 1 by the NSE. The decision was taken on March 13th following a nearly 30% fall after accounting discrepancies were reported by the bank. The securitized asset pool has come under pressure due to falling collections in collateral-free credit segments such as personal, microfinance, and small business loans over the last few months. The collections of microfinance pools have declined to about 90% in the third quarter of financial year 25 from around 97% at the beginning of this year. Collection efficiency in the unsecured SME and personal loan segment has also moderated in the ongoing financial year, ICRA said. It flagged the slowdown in economic activities, coupled with over-leveraging of borrowers, as a cause for concern. After nearly a decade of several big buyers, Sizing up Haldiram snacks food, India's biggest maker of bhujia and other ethnic snacks, Singaporean private equity firm Temasek signed a definitive agreement to buy 10% in the company at a valuation of $10 billion. Elon Musk's Starlink has partnered with Jio Platforms and Bharti Airtel to provide high-speed satellite internet in India. These collaborations represent a significant shift in India's telecom sector and promise to deliver advanced technology without high spectrum costs, benefiting millions of Indian customers. Wholesales of passenger vehicles in February 2025 increased by 1.9% despite a dip in retail sales due to rising inventory. The highest ever February sales in this segment were recorded driven by utility vehicle demand, while small cars and vans saw a decline. Two-wheeler sales dropped sharply by 9%. Indian FMCG companies are grappling with a shortage of salesmen. Companies selling daily essentials are finding recruiting the famed feet on the street difficult in the face of intimidating sales targets amid a slowdown and more attractive gig workforce opportunities. This comes at a time when the companies are looking to hire incremental sales force and direct distribution roles to penetrate newer Tier 2 and Tier 3 markets and the hinterland in expectation of demand recovery in the new fiscal. Business Process Management or BPM, earlier BPO, companies are set to hire fewer people as automation and artificial intelligence takes over routine tasks. With AI and generative AI becoming mainstream, businesses are restructuring operations, reducing the need for human intervention in basic processes. Industry executives, associations, and even venture capital firms are yet to determine how much those numbers will come down as companies adopt a wait-and-watch approach and the impact of AI and Gen AI unravels over time. Tata Sons, the holding company of the group, is set to invest Rs 1,432 crore in the rights issue of Tata Projects, the conglomerate's engineering and construction company. Tata Projects aims to raise Rs 2,500 crore from its shareholders. Founded in 1979, Tata Projects is one of India's leading engineering, procurement and construction firms. It has three key business segments: energy and industrial infrastructure, urban infrastructure and services. Tata Sons holds a 57% stake in Tata Projects and the rest is with other Tata Group companies including Tata Power and Tata Chemicals. Blackstone acquires a 40% equity stake in Kolte Patil Developers in a deal worth over Rs 1,167 crore. This involves a preferential allotment and stake purchase from promoters. The transaction triggers an open offer to acquire an additional 26%, potentially increasing its total stake to 66%. Tax authorities are going to unprecedented levels in using the provision of the law that allows it to collect information from different places and not just the people who pay taxes. It is happening across businesses and states, with the taxman snooping around for transaction details with organizations in financial services, hospitality, healthcare, real estate, manufacturing, and those linked to telecom and direct-to-home services. The aim is to collect evidence of tax evasion, misreporting, and racketeering by verifying various dealing records with the claims made by individuals and entities under the scrutiny of the Income Tax Department. The joint auditors of the Hinduja Group promoted IndusInd Bank MP Chitle and Co. and MSKA and Associates have written to the bank's board requesting a forensic audit of the derivatives portfolio. The bank's board is now selecting an audit firm, with PwC already reviewing the portfolio. The issue has persisted for 5 to 7 years. In a major tax crackdown, the Income Tax Department has uncovered discrepancies in agricultural income declarations using satellite imagery. A farmer claiming rupees 7 lakh per acre in farm income and rupees 1 lakh per acre in rental earnings for land around Hyderabad has come under scrutiny as the figures don't align with actual cultivation records. Agricultural income is exempt from income tax, making it an attractive loophole for converting undisclosed wealth into legal income. However, authorities are now targeting individuals who declare unusually high agricultural earnings to evade taxes. Amid increasing delinquencies in microloans, lenders are tapping online debt collection platforms to boost recoveries. These platforms offer services like call reminders, WhatsApp and SMS notifications to customers, and also analytical solutions for field staff engaged in collections. As the delinquencies in the microfinance institution or MFI sector have increased in the last few months, MFIs are increasingly seeking collection solutions that cater to last mile recovery through digital, calling, and field channels. Given the nature of their portfolio, most MFIs now prefer automated and analytics driven solutions that allow them to execute their own collection strategies effectively. Bengaluru-based developer Purvankara is expecting about a fifth of revenues coming from western part of the country, including Mumbai and Pune in financial year 25. Due to the higher property prices and large opportunities, companies such as Purvankara, Prestige Estates and others have taken up projects in Mumbai. For Prestige also, the western region is contributing about a fifth of its top line. This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.